Hello,
Hello.
everyone! Oh my god, we're live.
We're live. We haven't been live in a lot of months.
A very long time. And we've done it a few times, but for some reason, every time that we arrive live, it's like a little bit of a surprise. Like, does it work? Does it not work?
Let's do a sound check. Can everybody hear us and see us? Is that working well? And is the fan too loud in the background? Because it is incredibly hot. And
yes.
without it, the computer will not function.
So there may be a little bit of a humming sound behind. If it's too much of a bother, I'll shut it off. But my laptop is very sensitive to overheating. It's really, really hot here in Antigua.
But I thought that the Apple laptops were the best laptops on the planet, Sophie.
I mean, for what I'm doing, they are, Ryan. Honestly.
Okay.
They are.
I was told that there's nothing better except to keep shutting down.
Oh, wow. Oh, hi, Heidi and Franny. I mean, hi again. We've been talking this morning. And hi, Ronaldo. And wow. Where are you guys joining from? I'm always curious. Indiana? Italy? Wow, wow, wow.
It's great.
So cool. Joe, thanks so much for the super chat. We had not even started. This is great. Well, it's really good to see all of you. I don't know, how many are we? Oh gosh, we're already 100 people. Oh,
that's great.
That's so many. Switzerland, Germany, Portugal. Oh, a lot of people from Europe.
That's great. It's nighttime
Maine,
there.
Austria, California, Nevada. Woohoo! Syria. Oh my goodness, so many people. Well, we hope that you guys are good. It's really fun to see you. Let's start from the beginning. Ryan, how are you?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little tired. I'm a little hot, but generally I'm good.
Yes.
But that's the truth of what's going on here. I'm tired and hot. How are you?
I am really good. I'm super excited to see everybody here. Oh, hi, Mike Crabbing. It's nice. I like seeing people that we're familiar with in the comment section.
New Zealand on Monday morning. Woo. Okay, time traveler.
Wow,
Andrew.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm really tired as well for some reasons that we're gonna get into a little bit later in this live. It is hot. We are in Antigua currently, and it is 3 p.m. on our side. And I love how we call this live Sundowners.
It might not. That's going to be like a 3.5 hour live. I don't think we'll go that long.
Unless we're live for 3 hours, we're probably not going to see the sunset. But we'll share pictures on Instagram. Oh, Iowa! Hi, Iowa! Oh, and thanks, Sailing Aeolus, for the super chats. Loving it. And I think I saw World Towning, and I don't know if it's Will or Jess in the chat, but it's fun to see you. All right. What do we start with, guys? What should we start with?
So I think, when did we do our last live? It was...
I think it was before you left on your big
Yeah, it was.
crossing.
But were we in France? Or I don't really remember.
I think that we were in Spain. But anyways.
Yeah.
Let's see. What happened? I guess that the latest update that we gave on YouTube was when you arrived in Antigua from your big solo crossing. So first off, how was that? Let's start with that.
as most people know who watch the channel, the solo crossing was good and unexpected in many ways. So how to keep this short, because I'm sure people have questions, but
we'll get to that. We'll get to lots of questions.
Yeah.
We're here for as long as you guys want.
I think the best thing in the solo crossing to say was I learned a lot of things that I wasn't expecting. So I learned that I am a very prepared person, but I wasn't prepared for the thing that actually happened to me, which was a big emotional wreck, which was the migrant raft rescue, obviously, and like the emotions that followed that. So that was a very interesting part of that trip, and it made it very hard. But then I also learned how great people are in the sailing community, and going to Cape Verde and because I really did not want to go to Cape Verde, but going to Cape Verde and having some time off and just reconnecting with some friends, some of them like long lost friends, was also really nice. And it was like inspiring to me to like keep going, because there were some other solo sailors there that were also having some struggles. It's not, I think that there's a misconception out there, because all of us are sailors. We're in the sailing community, and we know probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or we've done it ourselves, people that have crossed an ocean. And for us, that's a very normal thing. But it is not a normal thing, regardless if you're solo, if you're with
Your partner.
2 people, or with your 10 people. It's not a normal thing. Very small percentage of the people on this planet get in a boat. So to do it by yourself, that part of it comes with a lot of struggles, obviously, that people who've done it know. But then to do it by yourself, it's like a whole nother plane. And so it wasn't just me there having my own like struggles. There was plenty of other people in Cape Verde. So that was nice. But then the rest of the trip was really quite relaxing, and there was a few things that went on, obviously, but it was pretty easy actually after that. The trade winds.
But you did great.
The trade winds were good. Yeah. And yeah, I think the other thing I learned was just how important it is to have a good support team with you when you do things like that, whether it's sailing or climbing or whatever. Having a good support network was really good. So
Jason and Kim, hi guys, we miss you. Come back sailing.
So that was that. It was really good.
Here, I need to show this comment because it's Duarte. Do you remember Duarte?
Absolutely.
Hi Duarte. Duarte, we never forgot our amazing evening in Lagos, in Portugal. It was not. It was in Cascais. Sorry.
And, yeah.
But amazing episode. Were you able to put your emotions on camera? I know the anxiety you were feeling. Thank you for that episode. That's awesome. Thanks so much, Duarte.
It was really, thanks for it. That was a really hard, like, I didn't have anything else to do because I was filming myself, and I knew Sophie was counting on me for the filming. But to put your emotions out there, I was actually really worried when we put the migrant raft video out on how that would be perceived because, well, I did my fair share of crying there. But that, I think, generally was perceived well. It was like the next video when I was struggling along the way that we had kind of a mixed bag of people's reactions. And I know people will say you shouldn't listen to what people have in the comments, but we obviously do. And I think, where was I going with that?
It was a hard thing to talk about.
It was hard, and I think it's very true that you're never going to understand what I was going through unless you were there. But it was one of the ironic things was I had 2 people, one of my best friends growing up, Stephen Lancaster, and another lady from Sweden, who were both emailing. They're both clinical psychologists, emailing me along the way, and they were saying, they gave me a list. They both gave me a list, and it was almost the exact same thing of things you need to do after a traumatic event. And it was like, you should get plenty of exercise and rest. You should be around people that you care about and you love. You should have somebody you can talk to about the event. You should eat good food. It was like all these things that don't exist when you're out sailing, let alone sailing by yourself.
We eat well when we're sailing.
I know, but you understand what I'm saying. Like it's a much different atmosphere, and I think that was always interesting to get those mails and then realize that okay, this isn't I shouldn't be here right now.
Sorry.
No.
I'm in the comment section. You're like talking about this very like somber and dark topic, and I'm in the comment section. You're like, oh, Brian and Beth, hi.
So, but then the rest of the trip, I mean, to sum up the rest of the trip, I left Cape Verde with 10 other boats, and we all left roughly at the same time. So I knew there was a lot of other boats out there, but I did see quite a bit of traffic this time. But it was a pretty easy sail. Our weather router, Charlie, did an amazing job, took me down south a little bit. I was pretty much sailing 3 reefs and a half jib the entire way. There was a few days I took out and went to 2 reefs. And I still averaged, I think, roughly 6.2 knots across. So pretty good. Yeah. And I had good foods of smashed potatoes.
So we need to clarify something here. I know that in the comment section of the video of Ryan making mashed potatoes, a lot of people were confused and thought that those were croquettes. So croquettes are little balls of mashed potatoes that are slightly grilled on the outside.
No, they weren't that.
This was actual mashed potato, so like the puree that you see.
But they looked like little.
So they looked like croquettes, but they were not. No. They were actually mashed potato. Thanks for the opportunity to clarify.
Scroll up just a little bit.
Yeah.
There was a comment about if I would do this one.
Yes.
Okay, so Paul asks, would I do another solo crossing? So I think the answer is no. Would I do another solo thing? Yes, but maybe not on a boat. And I'm going to explain why. It's very simple. I realized very quickly the day I had to change out the autopilot drive unit that I realized that day that it's not the boat breaking that I was concerned about. It's me breaking. And there was two examples of that. So like I knew that day I changed that autopilot drive unit out because I had to heave to the boat in some pretty big seas, and I was doing a lot of things on my own, but I was crawling into tight spaces. And I knew right then, I was like, if I can do this, I can do anything on this boat, and I can. So it wasn't the boat breaking that I was worried about; it was me breaking, and that was the first leg of the trip, which was like me emotionally.
Honey, you were not broken. You were emotional. Being emotional
No,
is not being broken.
But I was like, there's two aspects of it. There's the mental part of being broken, and then there's the physical part of being broken. So like you could have something emotional happen to you and you have a hard time recovering, but then you could also physically get hurt. And that's actually the two pieces I was like, listen, if I'm out here and that happens, that's not something I might be able to fix. Okay. And so that's probably why I won't.
So you realized that this was a level of risk that you were prepared for this time, but you may not be willing to take it.
I don't know because there's no need to, but then again, like I'm thinking about doing other solo projects and that's the same risk. So
it's like risk versus reward, right? I mean, you took the risk, you were aware of the risk, and you were willing to take the risk for the reward. But now it's like there wouldn't be really another reward if you were to do it again, and so it's not worth the risk taking.
Yeah, I think so. So I don't think I'll do it again, but I am glad I did it. I do think that I do believe that my assessment of, or at least my idea of saying that this was actually a decent first solo passage. Yeah, it was a bit long, but it was like there's just not much out there, so it takes the stress level down. Whenever I was close to the islands, like getting close to Cape Verde or leaving the Canaries or even getting close to Antigua, that's when the stress level went up a little bit because the sleep just kind of stopped essentially because you're always up making sure that there's no fishing boats or anything out. So
I really want to clarify that point. With that being said, high five, well done.
Yeah.
I am glad that you're not going to do it again.
Before we get to this, and I just want to say thank you to everybody watching this or not watching this that supported myself and Sophie during that few weeks. It was actually a month and a half, but I really appreciate the support that we got from people. It was really nice and it won't be forgotten. So thank you.
On those good words, how do you cook frozen mashed potatoes? It's very simple. You shove that in a microwave or at the bottom of a pot with heat under. And there you go. Frozen mashed potato. Done. All right. Steven prefers Cuban croquetas.
All right, let's drop this mashed potato thing. It's happened. It's over.
Okay. Beth asks how it was for Sophie when Ryan was going through that.
It's a really good question.
It was not great. I'll be very honest. When Ryan left for his solo crossing, I was like, oh, great. I'm going to have so much time that I can have to focus on Beth, this big project that we are doing and that you're involved in. Haha, it's a teaser. Beth actually knows what the project is because she's been reading it. So I thought that I would have a lot of time to write and do the work. But what ended up happening is that I was Ryan's support 24/7. And so the level of focus was completely off. I was stressed. I didn't sleep well. I didn't eat well. I think that it would have been a different experience if I had been home, but I was not home. I was bouncing between different places. So it was not a really fun experience. And while I think that it went well in the end, both you and I handled it really well, it wasn't what I expected. And I think that I prefer to be on the adventure side rather than on the support side, is what I learned.
Yeah, it's hard when you just hear little snippets of what's going on, not the full thing. So yeah, put that one on.
All right.
We have this from a couple different people. How many hours of sleep? Yeah, the sleep question is always a big one. I did manage to get a pretty good night's sleep most nights. I had a schedule that I stayed on. I would go to bed, get into my bed, if you will. I'm gonna put it this way. I started a nighttime routine every night at about 6:00, and I'd take a shower, and then I'd get dinner made, do some checks, then maybe I'd watch a movie on Netflix or something, or a TV show, and then I would sleep for a few hours, wake up, check the chart plotter, take a quick look, and just repeat every couple hours. And it was actually really restful for the most part. There were a few nights, I will say, because if you remember just a bit ago, I said I was 3 reef most of the time. That was because I had quite a bit of squalls on this trip. And so some nights I'd fall asleep and I'd be doing 6.5 knots, and I'd wake up and I was doing 8 or 9, even with 3 reefs in. And so then I'd pop my head up just to see what was going on. And that got a little bit exciting. So I don't really have a skin. Steven's asking what my skin routine is.
Skincare routine.
My skincare routine.
Like how did you clean your face?
I like to wash with salt water.
What kind of cream did you use?
Salt water and soap, just bar soap. Salt water and bar soap is that's the key to this beautiful 40-year-old looking face.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't expect that we would go straight into talking about your crossing. That wasn't really my plan.
Okay.
To start this live, but this is fine. I mean, if you
we're
guys,
kind of going sequentially.
We're going with the flow. If this is what you guys want to hear about.
So I had Netflix that kept me a bit busy, and then my Spotify failed, as many of you know. I don't know why it happened, but apparently it happened to many people that were out there, and I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. Just stopped. It stopped on the way down to Cape Verde too. Somebody said they think that if you turn the Wi-Fi on and try to connect to the Iridium Go with your phone, that it thinks that it's connecting to the internet. And if it doesn't get a signal, it thinks that you don't have an account. So that could have been the case. I don't know. Yeah. I'll try not to connect at this time, and we'll just connect our tablet. So.
All right. This is a really good question. How many sat phones call a day? At least one to me.
At least one to you. When I was feeling really bad going down to Cape Verde, especially the night of the raft rescue, it was a lot of calls. But let's see here. I didn't pay any extra. The Iridium Go from PredictWind, the unlimited package, includes 150 minutes of talk time a month. And then we had a separate sat phone, which was 100 minutes we had on there a month. So that's a lot of talking, and we didn't use any of that up. And I think total, I think we spent like $200 a month on satellite communications, which I think is quite fair. What you get for it.
Yeah, and with satellite communications, I felt like I preferred to be safe rather than sorry. I think that if you had disappeared from the live tracker and I had no way to contact you, I think I would have spent some really bad moments.
Yeah, somebody's asking about more details on my soap. I tend to.
This is a bit embarrassing.
I tend to prefer Irish Spring bar soap if I'm using bar soap. Mm-hmm. Haven't had it in a few years, but that's what I prefer.
Right. Okay, I think that there was a question that I was looking at. No, there was something that I wanted to talk about. All right. Ronaldo.
This is a good one.
I consider myself also emotional, and see other guys talking about emotions and normalizing it. It helps me a lot deal with my own emotion and feel normal and not broke. And thank you so much for saying it. We feel the exact same way. We feel that in this world of social media, we often get to see the beautiful side and the fun side of things, and when everybody is happy. And I think that being exposed to too much of that makes you forget that sometimes, like, nobody's ever happy all the time. Like, we all have our moments. We all get tired, and sometimes we go through hard shit. And if all you see are happy people all the time, you're like, oh, maybe something is wrong with me that I cannot deal with a hard emotion. And so we are pretty committed to also showing when things are not going so great for us.
It's okay to be scared, and especially in sailing, it's okay to be scared and sad and angry and upset and cry, because there's just a lot of emotion involved in it, because it's your home. And then when you see something pretty traumatic for you out there, and then, so I think that's really good. It
doesn't matter what it is, really.
But there's always going to be people that think that, we got a lot of that, with that, you're a weak person because you show emotions, and it's just simply not the case. a weak person would have just turned the boat around and gone the other way, in my mind, or tried to hide what they were feeling. Because I don't know, like since that whole thing happened, I don't think I've cried so much in the last 5 months as I have my whole life.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually surprised that you went through talking about it without crying. I think that it's
well, I haven't really talked about the migrant bit yet.
okay.
So I might get teary-eyed there. But
we'll skip that for today.
That's fine.
It's completely fine. But what we want to say is that we live in a society where, especially for men, it's not really crying is seen as a weakness by a lot of other men, and it's not. It's very normal, very natural.
Normal. Yeah.
And we want to normalize it. So thank you, Ronaldo. This comment meant a lot to us. Okie dokie. This is a good one. Sophie, would you consider crossing the Atlantic solo? Absolutely not. It's just not appealing to me. I think I like sharing sailing with other people, which is why I film it so much. I like to tell the stories and share our experiences. And for me, going solo just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I think what we wanted to try to do with you was to get you on like an all girls trip across, and maybe someday we'll still do that. I think you've got some plans for that anyways. Yeah.
All right. This is a good one. You're absolutely right, Alan. Let's move forward to now.
So yeah, I arrived in Antigua in beginning of March, which is a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, that was almost 3 months ago, guys.
3 months ago, yeah.
So here's what happened. As soon as Ryan arrived in Antigua, we both got really caught in work. And we haven't done much. I'll be very honest with you. This was a time for us to focus on some career objectives that we have. It sounds so boring when I put it this way. But we have some really fun projects coming that we're going to talk about. And some of you know what it is. Like our patrons know what we're working on. But as soon as Ryan arrived, we got straight into those projects. So we put the boat at the marina and we tried to go spend a week sailing around Antigua, going to Barbuda.
We sailed twice since we've been here. We've been out sailing twice. We went out for about a week or a week and a half or so with some friends on their catamaran. We tried to get to Barbuda. We tried to get to Barbuda many times. Barbuda's a bit cursed for us at the moment, but first time on the catamaran, we ended up as far as Green Island, which is on the east side of this island.
Yeah, like we made it halfway to Barbuda.
And then we broke a lot of stuff, so we went back to Falmouth and we spent some time in Green Island and went back. And it was still a nice trip, though, and we got out. And then we came back to the boat for a week or so, and then we took our own boat, Polar Seal, to Barbuda. And it was a very nice trip. The only problem is that we just have, as we're going to explain, way too much going on. So we have a lot of stuff related to us sailing and some projects with that. We both have our own side jobs that we, have things going on to just keep the kitty topped up. Yep. So it's really a lot of stuff. And that was stressful. And in the process, this is a little bad news that we haven't announced to anybody.
No, because...
But we should just mention it.
Okay.
So we're in Barbuda. We said that it's a little cursed for us. And one night we were out at the big those of you know Barbuda, there's Shaka Kai where the guy cooks just lobster and potatoes. We went there and I went back a little early because I was tired. Sophie went back with some friends and a dinghy, and the dinghy flipped over and Sophie essentially lost all of her camera gear. Yeah,
that was $4,000 of kits.
It was a $4,000 lobster dinner, so we've been kind of picking up the pieces.
But okay, the reason why I didn't want to share it is because first off, I didn't want people to feel like they should help me replace it. We have insurance for that, and so we talked to our insurance. So we called Pantaneous. We're like, hey, Pantaneous, we had a dinghy accident, and Pantaneous worked with us. They were great. So thanks to Pantaneous, I was able to get insurance coverage for my camera equipment dying. And because we spent so many weeks just working on this giant project, I didn't really miss my camera that much. I guess I missed it a bit last week when we were filming that much. I missed it, and it was supposed to arrive today. It is not arriving today, and I'm a little bummed out about it. It's gonna arrive next week. But yeah, so I lost $4,000 of camera equipment in a dinghy accident in Barbuda. That was not fun. There were a lot of tears also.
A lot of tears.
About
So
that.
we did that, and then after that, we actually came back here to the marina, and we busted our butts off for this secret project that Sophie's going to talk about.
All right, before we talk about the secret project, because we're getting to it, guys. I promise we're getting to it. One of the projects that we are working on.
This is one of the projects, not the secret one.
Okay, I think that we can be honest and say that lately there has been a lot of people working with us, and there is somebody helping you getting your book written.
Yeah, we
Michelle?
we kind of have a whole team of people that we've been working with on different things.
You make it
Yeah.
sound like
We don't
have a huge team
No.
of people.
But we wouldn't be able to do a lot of this without some of the people that have been helping us.
Yes.
So yeah, I've hired an editor. I am trying to finally get over the goalpost, my risk management book. And George is asking if I would do some of this in person for different groups of sailors. And absolutely I would. In fact, I actually would prefer that over writing, because I really actually dislike writing, and is the reason I hired someone to help me. So I've done a lot of teaching like that before. I did a lot of work with IATA, which is the International Air Transport Association, on things like that, and did a lot of in-person teaching. So I would love that.
Yeah.
So I've been working on that book. You haven't been working on your cookbook, but that's something in the queue. I saw a comment about your video quality.
Yes. So I really want to talk about it because, again, I want to be transparent with the way that we work and what you guys end up seeing as a result. And I don't think that a lot of YouTubers do that. And it's a little bit of a pity because it sets a certain standard of expectation for how much you can accomplish alone as a person. So here is why the quality of the video have stepped up. First off, I take great pride in storytelling. Like, story is to me everything, and this is really something that I've been wanting to put a lot of effort in. But the second thing that happened is that since the beginning of the year, I have found an editor, and what it has allowed me to do is with every single video that I do. So it's not like I send him all my footage and he comes up with something. It's absolutely not how it works.
No, it's not.
So what I do is that I decide what the story is going to be, and I have more time to think about what the message I want to get out of my videos will be. So I send him a pre-cut. By the way, his name is Nathan, and Nathan, if you watch this, you are the best. We really adore you. So I send him a pre-cut with a brief of everything that I want out of the video. And then I send him a project. So I don't send him just footage. I send him like a pre-cut. And then he sends me back a project. And I'm able to build on top of what he's been working on. And so for every video, we have both my creative perspective and his creative perspective. So we've really been working together as a team, which has been amazing because Ryan doesn't work much with videos at all. You don't really film. You don't really edit.
I filmed the whole way across the Atlantic.
You did. Sorry.
Did you guys enjoy that?
Yes. It was a challenge too. Because
Yeah, it was a challenge.
Working with your footage was difficult because I was discovering it as the things came, and it took a lot of time to piece together those videos. So the reason why the quality has stepped up is because now we are 2 people working on those videos, and because I have Nathan on my side. I need to introduce you guys to Nathan. He's amazing. But I've been able to work on this giant project that maybe now it's time to talk about it. All right.
So what have you been working on the last few months, Sophie?
Okay. A lot of people, because we asked people on Instagram and Facebook what they thought it was. Some people thought that it was a baby.
No.
It's not a baby.
No baby.
Okay. Some people thought that it was going to be a new boat.
No new boat, though.
Okay.
We would like a new boat. Well,
So-
we think it's time for a new boat. Sorry, Polar Seal.
Yes, we love you, Polar Seal.
But we think it's time to take the next step somewhere else, but
Yes.
we're not there yet.
We are,
Not there yet.
in the spirit of transparency, again, transparency. We are 100% thinking about Polo Seal number 2. It's time for us. It's been 6 years now that we own Polo Seal, 4 years that she is our full-time home. And we have some ambitions for the future of our sailing life.
But we just don't have the cash.
We don't have the budget. So, there's this tiny little detail. Somebody thought that we were going to stop sailing.
Oh, no, we're not
We're
stop.
not.
We may sail a little differently.
We may sail a bit differently.
Stop. Yeah.
So, I think that Gabrielle, I'm going to find Gabrielle again. Gabrielle, it's really funny because Gabrielle is...
There, stop.
Where is he? No, it was not... Gabrielle is always, that's it. Who was the guy filming with you on the boat? Haha. So I'm going to tell the story.
Yeah, tell the story.
Back in December, I was contacted by a guy named Andrew, and Andrew is the CEO of a company called Bright Trip. And I knew of Bright Trip because it's a company that was founded by my personal favorite YouTuber. His name is Johnny Harris, and his wife is also like an incredible filmmaker. And their concept is that they are creating courses all geared towards adventures, culture, and travel. And they told us, well, it's been a long time that we want to create a course about how to get started in the sailing life. And their deal is that they help us with the production, and we pour in all of our knowledge and resources, and we combine those two, and it's like a big collaborative effort. And at the end of the day, there is an entire video course that is produced and that we sell through their platform. And we were like, yes, absolutely, 100%. It had been a really long time since we had thought about doing maybe a Skillshare course or a Udemy course. But since it's only Ryan and I, and Ryan doesn't really work with videos, it really falls on me to take care of all the logistics, and it's huge. I mean, you guys probably know how it works with sailing when you are sailing full time, when you create one video a week, maintain a website, Patreon, social media. It's enormous. And so for us, it was the opportunity to have to work with a production team that is really specialized in creating high quality courses and combine our efforts to create the best online course about how to get started in the sailing life. And we have spent 5 months putting together a script for that course. And that script covers everything from how do you learn how to sail, how do you build up experience, how much experience do you need. Then we go through choosing a boat. So what are the different kinds of boats that you can choose from? Can you rent? How do you rent?
It's essentially everything that we wish we would have known before we started is what we try to do. So like all the stuff we didn't know that we needed to know, so we know we didn't know it.
Yes,
is what we tried to do, and it ended up being a pretty exhaustive course. Sophie and who's now my editor, Michelle, did an amazing job working on it while I was off sailing, and it's really been 5 months, and we're still not done. So we filmed. To put this in perspective, guys,
oh my god, yes.
Between Sophie and I, primarily me though, between December and when I arrived in Antigua, we filmed 600 gigabytes of footage. And in the last, so that's pretty much everything you'll see up to this point. And in the last 7 days, we filmed 2.5 terabytes of footage.
Yeah.
And we're only about 70% through what we are trying to put together. So we're super excited about this. We think there's not anything else like this out there. And for us, we're just really thrilled to be able to share what we've learned over the past 4 years, so that other people can live the same life too, and be able to do it with a group that's really skilled at putting together good educational and story content. So we're super excited about it.
Yeah. The really what differentiates Bright Trip from any other online education platform is the quality. And so Gabriel, the guy who was filming with us on the boat last week, was David, and he's a director at Bright Trip. And the quality of storytelling and filming that he is bringing to this course is just, I mean, it is completely mind blowing. And we've been working the entire week together. We've taken the boat out. We've filmed like literally everything that there is to film on the boat.
Yeah.
And it's like the end, or not really the conclusion, because we're not done. Like, we still have a lot of work to do, and I'm not even talking about post-production. I still have an entire chapter of the script to finish and to shoot, but this time we're going to be shooting it ourselves. But every time that we were recording a lesson, Ryan and I thought to ourselves, my goodness, like, we're so proud of this, and it would have been so valuable to have this knowledge, or to have access to this course 7 years ago when we got started and we knew nothing about sailboats, and we asked ourselves all the questions.
So yeah, it's James is just asking, is live liveaboard course? It's not so live as it is. And it's not so liveaboard either. It's anybody that like wants to get into sailing, but it is definitely slanted towards somebody who wants to cruise and see the world on a boat, or exactly. Not the world, but parts of the world.
It's like, this course is for somebody who has been watching sailing YouTube for a while, and they're like, okay, how does it take to get from zero to sailing the world, or from having a little bit of experience of sailing to sailing the world? And it really covers everything from, how to build up experience, or how much experience do you need, to how do you prepare yourself mentally, how much does it cost, how to budget. Not really how much it costs, but how to think about budget and how to budget.
We're really careful not to tell people how to do it, but more about what you need to know so you can go kind of find more, and then just to give options and our own opinions, but not say you have to do it this way. So we're really Alan, exactly, we didn't put that in the course, but to do this you start with $1 million, so you can have nothing at the end.
Well, start with 1 million.
But it's really good. So we're really looking forward to it, but that's not the only thing we have going on. We finished that course, and that 2.5 terabytes of filming is the reason we're so tired right now.
Yeah,
but
we literally spent 7 days talking to prompters
in the heat.
Yes.
Another thing we've been doing in Antigua is we've been doing part of our comfort refit that we're doing for the year. So we've gotten all new interior cushions made. They haven't arrived yet, but they are on the way. We're getting a new sail bag made. We put teak on the cockpit table. What else? There's been a few other small things. But now we've got about a week left, and then where are we headed? Where are we heading in a week?
We're heading to Bermuda.
Yes.
What? Okay. No, I was trying to answer questions.
Oh, John, sorry. Including Ryan's tech talks. Yeah, there's a little bit of techie talk in there.
No, there is.
There is.
There is an entire lesson, for example, about how to size your battery bank, like estimating your energy needs on board.
There is Heidi's and Franny are asking too, but there is a little bit of maintenance stuff that we have not filmed yet.
So in the bit about maintenance, what we really want to touch on are so how to resonate about maintenance, maybe preparing yourself for the different areas of the boat that will be needing maintenance, and also what kind of skills will be useful for you to have when you leave on board and you have to maintain your boat. So it's not only, because when we got started into sailing, we thought that the success of our adventure relied on our ability to sail the boat. And as we know, that's not how it is. So we put in there a lot of like the skills that you need to, that you should think about beforehand. All right. Does the course come with a pair of those seasickness glasses?
That's an interesting idea.
I think that's a good idea.
We'll take that under advisement.
That's a good idea. I think that the company that sells the seasickness glasses could be interested in the partnership.
Hey, but maybe listen, I'm going to put in a shameless plug here because we haven't actually done this yet, and we need to announce that. Should we go back to the t-shirt thing?
Yeah, you want to go back to the t-shirt thing?
Yeah. So one thing we forgot to talk about was in the whole migrant raft, if you saw that video, we did put out some T-shirts, these Explore Humanity T-shirts, to raise money for the UN's Refugee Relief Fund. We're still selling those T-shirts until the end of the month, and you can find them on our website. We've managed to raise about $1,500 for the fund, which we're excited about.
Everyone who bought an Explore Humanity shirt, I wondered how we get to that topic, but that's totally fine.
I'm going to get back to why we got to that.
So when that was a really jump.
It was a jump, but I'm going to go back to this glasses and the thing because I.
Okay, so you created a T-shirt together with Steffi. And all the profits from those shirts are going to the UN Refugee Fund.
Exactly. Because we wanted to do a little something extra to help.
A lot of you guys have bought some of those T-shirts, and together with the advertising revenue from that video, we're about at $1,500, which I'm sure that a lot of much bigger creators raise more money, but this is the absolute most that we've ever raised for a cause that's close to our heart, and to us it means a lot. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks to everybody. You can still find those on our website. They'll be there till the end of the month, but that was my shameless plug that we do. This is one of the T-shirts
that's coming. We have a whole line of T-shirts I've been designing with our designer Steffi, another member of our team, the last okay, so why were we talking about T-shirts because now? Somebody asked about putting the glasses involved with the course. Like, do we sell the glasses do we give away the glasses? And I was like, you know what? We could give some T-shirts away. And then I thought about the T-shirts. And I was going to plug the T-shirts. And then it brought me back to we need to talk about the T-shirt that we're raising money for. You want to send, maybe that's a good idea. Maybe we should send T-shirts to the first people. We can send toilet pump T-shirts. So if you haven't seen those, check that out. With that being said, the course is not going to come out before September. Yeah. That's so it's only mid-May and we still have a lot of work to do on it. But we're excited to start talking about it. Exactly. So anyways, that's how I got to that. So I know it's a little bit roundabout. There was a path. I hope that you guys followed. Click on this one. Okay. Is there anything about convincing my French wife? I need that. Yeah, there is actually. So we're doing an entire lesson on how to prepare your relationship for sailing, and we give a lot of the tips that we wish we had gotten when we got started. I don't think that we have tips about convincing your partner. Yeah, because I don't think you should try to force them into anything. But I think what the course is designed to do is to give people confidence in that they are asking themselves the right questions before they do it. And hopefully by doing that, that will give your wife the confidence to do it with you. That's the idea behind it. So, yeah. And I think for us, I think this is another good thing. For us, this is obviously the biggest project that we have ever done. My God, guys. But for Bright Trip, the company we're doing it with, they have done a number, you can look on their website, a number of videos. It's very travel oriented. So they have some courses about different places in the world to discover. But they also have some very technical courses about how to use a camera when you're out traveling and how to learn a language or different things like that. Van life, there's one that just came out. And for them, this is also the biggest course they have ever done. So it's a big undertaking for all of us. And I mean, you guys know, you watch YouTube, you know that when we talk about getting into the sailing life, there is a huge amount of things to talk about. And we haven't even been able to cover it all. And I think that we're pretty straightforward in the introduction that first off, we're not sailing instructors. So we're not going to teach you how to sail. We're going to talk about how a boat is handled and how it works and the physics of sailing. But we're not going to get out of this course and be like, all right, I'm going to take a boat. I think that we're pretty clear about that. But it's been a huge mix of topics that are technical, and some other things are more like knowledge or soft skills, like talking about preparing yourself mentally or preparing your relationship. So I think there's some good questions here. That one. This one? Yeah. 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 So we filmed the teaser as well. That will be coming out soon. I don't know if it's going to come that soon. But there is some promotion we're going to do for it. So we just wanted to let people know that that's why we've been a bit off, and that's why you see random people filming in our boat. Yes.
We're really excited about it. So
It's the biggest thing that we've ever done, and it's like birthing a child. Honestly, it's been a lot of work.
I think we both really just like to share what we've learned because we wish we would have had the same, and so that's why we're excited about it.
Oh, look at that! Look who's there, James. We leave for Bermuda tomorrow. Hope to see you there. Yeah, we're hoping
we'll be a few weeks behind you, James.
Yeah, we'll be a couple of weeks behind you, but we're leaving. We're very excited to get to Bermuda. Absolutely. Okay, let's have a look at that. Seems like buying a boat right after you learn to sail and then heading off into the big blue is the biggest project you've done. You're both great ambassadors of what it takes. Oh, thank you so much, guys. That's such a lovely comment. Oh, hi, Frederick. Do you remember Frederick? Mm-hmm. Yay, hi. How do you divide your skills with maintenance and sailing? Do you make sure both can do most of the things, or do you specialize on different things each? So I think that the ambition when we left was that we would be able to do the same things.
So anything that's critical to the operation of the boat, we can both do. And so that's like, can we both sail the boat? Absolutely. Can we, if there's an emergency, can one of us do something that the other can't? Absolutely. Because you need that. But of course, there's going to be things on a boat that one does that the other just doesn't. I mean, in that sense, we're a little bit blue and pink, as you like to say.
And I don't like it.
But I do most of the maintenance and keeping the maintenance schedule up to date. And I think it's just because I like doing it and I'm really handy with it. So it's just a natural thing. And it's not to say Sophie has done maintenance things and she has her things that she does.
I can service a diesel engine.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You can, yeah.
Absolutely. I can diagnose a problem on the engine.
Sure.
I can hear the engine if something is wrong and tell you what's wrong, where the problem is from.
Yeah, so exactly. So we have a little division. Sophie does more of the cooking because she very much likes to cook, but it's not because we're in those roles. You like to cook, and I really like to fix
But you know what? I don't always like
to
cook.
No, you don't always like to cook. That's very true. But I never like to cook, so that's pretty much how that goes.
Let's go back to those frozen mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I would rather just cook that because it's easy. The thing is in my life, I find cooking a big waste of time. And I figure there's a lot of other things I can do with my time than cooking, so I'd rather just do a quick one.
Yeah.
But you don't really care for that philosophy. So, anyways.
You know, like today, for example, we didn't really eat lunch. You know?
Yeah. I had an apple and some
Today
watermelon.
I didn't feel for cooking, and nobody really cooked, so.
I was doing fixing stuff.
Yeah, I was
doing man things.
Oh my god! Stop with the thing about doing the man things and the blue chops and the pink chop, because that's embarrassing. This is one thing that I wish we did a little bit differently. I think, with that being said, I'm a really good sailor.
I agree.
I think that's something that you guys never get to see, because typically any video that you will see, I'm behind the camera. I'm never really sailing the boat because there is nobody to film me when I'm skippering. But I skipper the boat, and oh my god. Okay, I love skippering the boat. I'm a good skipper, but rarely do people get to see that. Hi, Bright Trip! Oh my god, who is it? Is this Brina? Is this David? Is this Katie? I need to know who it is. Yes, it's a dream. It's a dream working with you two. We really enjoy working on this project. Cannot wait to see this course coming to life. It is going to be amazing.
Can you click on Steven's?
On Steven's comment? And yes, old dog. The project has been announced. We are creating a giant course. I think that at the end of the day, it's going to be 5 or 6 hours of videos about how to get started in the sailing life. We haven't chosen a title yet. So if you guys feel inspired and you want to help us choose a title for the course, it's about how to get started sailing the world, like all the things that we wish we would have known 7 years ago when Ryan and I started thinking about doing this, and we knew nothing about boats. And we were like, okay, where do you start? Do you start with the money, with choosing the boat? How do you learn? Okay, it's all those things. So, yay.
Click on Steven's question.
Stevens? Yeah, we can.
I can make the frozen ones.
Yeah, exactly. We can make frozen croissant. You can sometimes find them at the supermarket at the frozen section, and then
we made pain au chocolat the other
we
day.
did.
It
Absolutely.
was frozen also.
Yeah.
I don't think you've ever made fresh pain au
Yeah.
chocolat.
Hi, Jules and Penny. We miss you guys. Thanks for coming. It's nice to have you here. All right. So, are we releasing the course on YouTube? So, no. Yes, but no. I think that we're going to release a lesson probably on YouTube or a video that talks about it on YouTube. But the idea is that we're going to be selling this course. So, like, it's a project that we worked on for a long time. It's like a book. It's like a little bit like a book.
So it's going to be a 9-month undertaking by the time we're done with it. So
oh my God, Andrew, undocking your life. I love that. I love that.
That's a good one.
Thank you, Andrew. Oh, that's David. Yay. Okay, so Gabrielle, David is the guy who was filming on our boat. It was really fun.
Oh.
And you're not exactly hijacking, but it's nice to see you. Yay. Okay. This one is for you.
Oh, thanks, Scotland. That's great. I appreciate that comment. It's really nice.
Let's talk about that. What books, other experienced sailors did you research before we used? Oh no, it's an extensive list.
It's pretty extensive because I'm a bit of a nerd. I read all the typicals. I think one of the best books that we read, and I would still recommend this book. I don't know if there's a new version of it out yet or not, but Beth Leonard's book, the Voyager's Handbook, is like the Bible. I think the version we had was just a little outdated. I think it's even more outdated now. It needs a refresh, but there's still a lot of great information in there. So that's a place I would start. Anything technical is like any Nigel Calder books. We did have Sailing for Dummies. We have 2 lockers of books you'll see behind us.
There is one.
And there's the one next to it.
And I don't think that you'll be able to see much of what's in there, but and we had to leave books in Stockholm, and now and then we have to transfer some books out of the boat and new books. But it's not only about books, there's so many more resources, like sailing schools are a great resource, or other cruisers, networks, communities.
Those
Facebook
are the
groups.
best resources.
And honestly, there is the list of resources that you can turn to as a newbie is so long, and some of them are so niche, like you wouldn't think about it. Because like everybody can think about Googling or buying a book, but how to find your sailing community, that's a little trickier. It took us a very long time before you and I found sailing friends, for example. So that's what we're hoping to achieve. Yeah. So yeah, there were a lot of resources, books, and sailors that we turned to. I love. Hi, Sam. Sam, I cannot wait for us to finally drink wine together with Sydney. I can't wait. I'm being serious. Like, it's been years that we're talking about doing that. But who docks the boat?
Who docks the boat, honey?
I dock the boat.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Depends what mood we're in.
Yeah.
But most times somebody does.
I dock the boat.
We make it so that both of us can. So we typically switch off. Like, it's one person and the other person, just so we keep our skills up.
Yeah. Lynn Pardy, absolutely. Lynn Pardy is a personal hero of mine. Her book is in this locker, actually. That's one of the first books that I bought. And I hope that I get to meet Lynn someday. We had some quick email contact. But yeah, and we quote actually Lynn and Larry Pardy in our course when we say, go simple, go small, go now.
Should we talk about the rest of our plans coming up?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mentioned after here, in about a week, we're going to head north to Bermuda again. We were just going to use it as a stop off, but it turns out that not only on the, let's see here. Turns out on the 7th of June, I am also not allowed in the United States because my passport expires.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So we are gonna swing into Bermuda, go to the consulate there, get my passport renewed. So we'll be there for a few weeks. See James Zangaro and anybody else
who's in Bermuda.
There.
Yes, if you guys are in Bermuda, yay!
And then it takes a few weeks to get that. So probably towards the end of June. we're going to pack up from there and head to Nova Scotia to Canada, and where we were going to spend the whole summer there, but we may not.
We may. Oh yes, we have. Okay, we have other exciting projects in the pipeline.
Some we may not be able to talk. No,
about,
because they're not confirmed.
You know what they say about sailing plans. They're written in the sand at low tide.
But we'll more than likely sail around Nova Scotia for a month.
One of them that may involve a new boat.
Not our new boat, though.
Yeah.
Our new boat.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. But
guys, stay tuned.
Anyways, so we are going to at least sail around till the end of July, and then we're going to probably hop on a plane and go to other parts of the world to sail with people. But we're still confirming some of those plans. And
are you still planning to come in Canada?
Absolutely.
Yes.
We're going to be there at least for a month.
Hugo, it's been 2 years that we are trying to get to the US and Canada. I still can't get to the US. We'll get back to that. But now we can get into Canada, and absolutely middle of June, we will be in Nova Scotia.
Yep.
I don't think that we're going to make it to Quebec this year, but we are planning on our plan for now, the way that it looks like.
We're thinking
about, instead of entering Quebec through the Saint Laurent River, we're thinking about taking the canals in the US and then go up to the lakes and then exit the Saint Laurent. That's what we're thinking about.
Considering that, we'll see how it all works out.
Again, sailing plans written in the sand at low tide. We'll see how it goes, but we are absolutely planning on coming to Canada, and I cannot wait. I'm excited about Canada. Here's a cool question. I don't know if that's yes or will, but hi guys. Have you placed your order for Starlink yet? Yeah, Brian.
We actually have a Starlink. It is at my parents' house in Iowa. And I'm hoping that we get it sent to Canada, but apparently it was working across borders, but now they've changed the subscription package about a week ago, and so it's not maybe working across borders. I don't know, but we're going to try to get it on board and at least test it out. So yes, we've ordered it. We have one. We just don't have it in our hands, and they don't have coverage here in Antigua anyways right now. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're gonna test it out. The spiral bond maneuvering book that we recommended years ago.
That's a good one. We have that in the course.
We're still recommending it. We're still putting it in the course because it's so good. Let's see. Should come sailing in the Great Lakes. Yay!
Go back to this one.
Which one?
Well, you keep moving the mouse. No, you were on it. Down one.
This one?
No, this one.
This?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you feel after Ryan's crossing and the time spent apart, stress and everything that happened to you? So we were apart. Sophie and I were apart for a long time this year. Let's see. In the last 12 months, we probably have been apart 4 months, maybe.
Yeah, we have been apart for at least 4 months.
At least 4 months. And that time, when you're living on a small boat together for so long, that time is actually very welcomed. There was a lot of stress that came with that time with the solo sailing and stuff, but it was actually very welcome. We were happy to get back together. Not that we were like separated, but like happy to be together, I would say. And
make it sound so dramatic.
We're happy to get back together. And no, but it was nice. It was nice to have your space a little bit, because we don't have our own space on this boat. And then it was nice to get back together. So
I think that it was very healthy.
It's super healthy.
And on that topic, yes. Any relationship advice for living abroad full time? That would be one advice. I think that we mostly come from a lifestyle where, we live with our partners. We go to work in the morning. We see them in the morning, and then we see them at night. But in between, we're in contact with a lot of other people. And then we have our friends, our network. But when you live with your partner on a sailboat, you are everything for each other, and you're on top of each other 24/7. And it feels a little taboo to say we need to work at finding time apart. But that would be my relationship advice. Like, find time for yourself, find time to make friends, find time for your own hobbies. Like, try to find your own time and your own space.
Yeah.
So, for example, right now I'm learning tennis.
It's true.
Like
tennis court right behind us.
We've been in Jolly Harbor in Antigua for
almost 3 months.
Way too long. I mean, guys,
we have muscles growing on the bottom of it.
It's bad. I mean, I'm really glad that we get to work on this course. It was very important to me. It's a project that really means a lot to me, and I could not have done it if we didn't have the stability that comes with living at a marina. But in terms of my physical health, it's been absolutely terrible. So there's been a tennis course right behind, and I'm learning tennis. And that's my time apart from the man.
The problem is she plays at like 7 a.m., so I'm like still half sleeping.
All right. Oh, this is a cool question. I like that.
To be honest, on this question, I had a lot of comfort food along the way. So I didn't actually... I mean, I was in desperate need of a burger when I got here because I didn't have burgers on it.
What you guys need to know is that Rhino's probably, I don't know, I don't think that you miss my food so much because like you essentially had everything that you don't eat when I'm around.
That's right, it was great.
Which is like
amazing.
Pizza and
just cheese,
IKEA frozen meatballs. Okay,
they're so good. They taste just like the store. So good.
All right. Anyways,
I've cooked them for Sophie a couple times. She's not impressed.
The thing is, I can make good meatballs.
Not here, you can't because the meat's so bad.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Onward we go. So let's continue on. What about your visa, honey?
Oh yeah. Okay. Who asked that question?
We can just mention it.
I'm asking. Oh yeah. How about my visa? All right, guys. This is a little bit of a disaster.
It's ongoing.
It's ongoing.
I mean, it's pretty shitty, but it's not a disaster yet.
It is. I mean, it was a disaster the day that I was denied a U.S. visa.
Yeah, but we're just moving along.
Because of the agent not finding me in like strong ties with my home country is enough. I'm not a criminal, guys. It's just that day the agent decided that I looked like an immigrant a little bit too much, and that was not great, apparently. So anyways, a year ago, we applied for another visa, which we had been working on for 5 months. So we have been working on this visa actively with a lawyer since December of 2020 or January of 2021. So almost a year and a half. And it's, I will be very honest with you, it's a frustrating experience.
Very frustrating.
Very expensive. We're talking at this point, we've sunk about $10,000 in this visa issue, in legal fees and visa fees, and we're not done.
So what happened was we last summer we applied for a green card for Sophie.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to take about 6 months. That's the current processing times, and it 6 months came and went, and then we inquired about it and found out our case had been moved to a processing center that had almost a 3-year wait time, which we found very unacceptable, and it was really discouraging to us. So just before, actually during the middle of my solo crossing when we got to Cape Verde, Sophie and I decided to file, it's called a mandamus action, which is essentially a lawsuit to the government. So we filed that in hopes that they would hurry up with their process, and they did. So by the time I got here to Antigua, we had gotten word that the first part of the process had been approved, but that was now March, and now we're waiting for the second batch of papers to get approved. And then after that, Sophie will then go to a interview in Stockholm, and then after that, we will hopefully have this piece of paper that we need.
Yeah. And sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So we are anticipating that it should take another 2 months or so before they get to our case at the Visa Center. And then it's a matter of how busy the embassy is in Stockholm to get to Sophie. So we're hoping, our goal is to get to the United States before the Annapolis Boat Show.
Yes.
Which we think we can do, but you never know. Because this is all taking a very long time.
You know, a year ago when we applied for the green card, we thought that by December we would be done with it. December came and went, and nothing. So yes, you're correct, Sean. We did a writ of mandamus, which fixed the issue. It brought us to the next step. So USCIS accepted our case, And guys, for everybody, and it's a very popular comment. It's the first one that we get. Get married. Getting married does not solve that issue. It just does not, unfortunately.
There's a whole other story behind this.
If it was that simple, you know that we would have done it, right?
Yeah. So, right. So yeah, it's still...
that is the update on the visa. We're hoping to be able to go to the Annapolis Boat Show, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Sophie, show us the goods. What are the goods?
The cooking goods?
The cooking goods. Oh, yeah, it's been a while. I guess it's been a while since I haven't cooked anything. All right. Oh, this is a good question. Yay! Are there any major upgrades to Polar Seal? Absolutely.
We have done the latest upgrades, are comfort upgrades. So I think I mentioned before, we're doing all the salon cushions right now.
So you see behind us, like all this this beige goodness.
These are all 15 years old. In the last like 6 months, the padding has deteriorated to a point that we're sitting on the wood.
It's very bad.
And our bed is causing us a lot of back problems. So we decided to invest some money and just update everything. So that's what we're doing. And hopefully this week we're going to get all that. So yeah.
It was one of these moments, when our boat literally became a pain in our butts. Like my butt hurts. I'm talking to you right now. My tailbone is on fire for real. It is that bad. So we're very excited to get our new cushions. Another thing that we did, I think you mentioned it, was our cockpit table. It used to be like this terrible gel coat.
Yep.
And now it's beautiful teak.
It's teak, and I varnished it, and it looks pretty. Amazing. We got a cover made for it. We got a new sail bag made because it was all ripping. We may get new bimini and spray hood because that's all falling apart in the sun, which is a little disappointing. What else have we done? We're going to put new lighting in the boat to make it a bit brighter at night. And I'm trying to think of what else.
So this year, we engaged in what we called comfort refits. Right. I think that a lot of time we have a tendency to look at our boat from a performance perspective. And I guess that increasing your energy capacity, being able to produce your own water, and I guess installing a washing machine, all of those were definitely elements of comfort. But I never really thought how much of a difference it would make to have good upholstery on the boat. Or rather, how terrible it would be not to have good upholstery on the boat. Because, oh my God, it's just terrible. So we've been doing that. And another thing that I've realized, LED lights, having really good lights on the boat, also makes a big difference. Because having terrible light at night, also a big pain.
So we're going to do that. Otherwise, there hasn't been much. There was a few breakages on the crossing, but not terrible. Like, the biggest thing was I broke 2 sail cars, and one of them was a batten car, and that we've had a terrible time finding. And through a series of emails and calling in favors across 3 continents, we managed to get one of these cars to our director, David, in DC just before he flew down here.
Yeah.
And so we got that fixed. And then otherwise, everything else is pretty good. Julian asked about the here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So yeah, I mentioned mussels. So we're in the marina, and there's a ton of mussels in this marina. They're all over the dock posts. And so about a month ago, when we went to Barbuda, I dove under the boat. And to be honest, the silicon is doing really well. There's no other growth other than these baby mussels that had attached to it. And I think it's because the silicon, they can somehow attach to it or something, and they attach to everything.
Yeah.
But because there's no biocide, it doesn't kill them. So I think this paint's more susceptible. It took me about an hour and there was a lot of them on there, like thousands of them. It took me about an hour to get them all off, and I didn't have to scrape. It was like just a lot of like heavy brushing, but I did get them all. Well, most of them off. I'll hire a diver before I go just to do it again. Mm-hmm. But there was no growth, like other growth on the boat. That was all gone. So yeah, it's still working really well. I would still recommend it. Yep. Absolutely.
I'm the same.
Yep.
Okay. Undock Your Dreams might be a good name for your sailing. I love that. guys, like if you have any suggestions, like title suggestions for our course about how to get started into the sailing life and go from zero to sailing the world, like go wild. I'm loving those suggestions. Undock your dreams. Mwah. Love it. uh, ooh, that is a good question, Ryan. Is there a policy discount?
There is, yes.
Yes.
I actually don't remember what it is.
It's Ryan and Sophie.
Ryan
and Sophie for 10%.
I think it's 5%, but
is it 5%?
Yeah, I have to check. But yes, there is one.
There is a discount. Like if you guys want to buy Dakota lithium batteries, drop us an email. We don't do customer service.
I don't do customer service and support.
That has been.
I have other things going on.
That has been a little bit not an issue, but
it's just we have a team of guys that do that, and they're much better at it than me. And you'll get faster support through them.
All right.
So click on hiding. Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Is it possible to be too prepared to set out sailing venture? I wonder if you get too deep. I actually think this is something that can happen. I think so sometimes when you have anxiety, like I'm a good example of this. One of the things, I think you said it once, there's two ways of dealing with anxiety.
There is over-functioning and under-functioning.
So there's the under-functioning where you just resign yourself to the fact that you are where you are.
You froze, you freeze, and you have a tendency to not be able to do much. Like you feel like you're a bit powerless and overwhelmed. Which is not Ryan's case. When Ryan has anxiety, Ryan has a tendency to overfunction.
I overfunction. And so
he gets a little over-prepared.
I get over-prepared. And sometimes a little too over-prepared. Although I don't think there's ever, too much. But what there is not leaving the dock because you think you're not prepared enough. And the best advice that we got from Mia Carlson, who's Andy Shell's wife,
on 59 North.
59 North Sailing. She told us this. I'll never forget it before we left. She said, the best thing that you can do is just leave. Pick a date and leave. And that doesn't mean you sail 1,000 miles away. If you leave the dock and go anchor your boat like in the harbor so you can see the dock, you've left and you've accomplished the first step of the mission. And if you stay there for a week, fine. Then go to the next place and go to the next place. And that's all it has to be. I think some people think that when you leave, you need to leave properly. But, if you're in Florida and you just go to the next town over and spend a month, you've left and you're living the life. And it's not for anyone else to decide if that's right or wrong. It's for you to decide. And that took us a long time to understand. You can lose the excitement from it. You can get stressed. But eventually you should just leave and make sure you're doing what you set out to do.
Yes. And that is honestly the hardest part of getting your sailing adventure started. It's like you get to the point where you want to leave and you're like, no, we need to do this, no, we need to do that, and you kind of hype yourself up a little bit, and that was the best advice. Just go somewhere, just leave the dock, and it doesn't need to be far away. Just like try being on anchor for a few days and then maybe come back, and then little by little you go farther and then farther and farther out of your comfort zone. It took Ryan and I 2 years from knowing 2.5 years from knowing nothing. So we took our sailing course, then we bought our boat, and the first times that our first season, we barely went out of Stockholm's archipelago. We never went out of Stockholm's archipelago.
Yeah,
we just did little day sails around, and we practiced docking, and we learned to get more comfortable with our boat. It's in our second year that we started doing a little more, not advanced sailing, but we went a little bit farther. And I have to share something with you, which we share in the course too, and we've never shared with you. But the first time that Ryan and I sailed overnight, it was a huge step out of our comfort zone. Like you do day sails and it's tiring. Sailing is physical, and sailing overnight is definitely a step up when you learn. It was July in Stockholm's archipelago, and if you live in Sweden, you know that in July there is no night. Like it was not overnight; it was through the sunset. So it was really nice, beautiful light. But the next morning, when we arrived to our destination after our overnight sail, Ryan looked at me and was like, "This was too tiring. I'm not sure that I can do this. I'm not sure that we can continue and go on our big adventure as we planned."
Mm-hmm.
And that's just to say that don't burn yourself out by getting into sailing by going really far out of your comfort zone at first, because every little step that you take out of it feels like a huge thing, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. Like you were overwhelmed after that day that we sailed.
I was
overland the
overwhelmed.
first time.
I was just really tired. Yeah.
And so yeah,
So it's okay to feel that way.
so you're not going to be over prepared. You know, it's all about managing your own anxiety and what makes you comfortable when you're on board. Just like take small steps. Oh, all right. Well, also thanks for the questions, guys. They're great. All right. Okay. Have you guys experienced any pirate presence in your trips or scary moments at night? No, not really. I guess that when we were on lockdown in St. Martin and stuck in the lagoon, we were a little bit worried about potential looting, and so we did night watches, but it was a very exceptional situation. It was very extraordinary. I have never felt unsafe, really, anywhere we've been.
Sorry, guys.
Ryan is in the fridge. We're defrosting the freezer, and apparently things went a little too fast for Ryan says. Okay. Any chance that we will see you in Lunenburg, Nova Scotia? Yes, 100%. Yes, in July we should be in Lunenburg at some point. Like we really want to go there.
I think that's going to make landfall.
I think, yeah, okay, yeah. Ryan says that that's where we're going to make landfall from our sail from Bermuda. So there we go.
If you know the area, Ian, we're looking for a spot to leave our boat for a couple months.
We
could use some advice.
Are we leaving Polysteel for a couple of months over the summer, Ryan?
We might be. We talked about that already.
Yeah, we did. No, we have some projects going on. Okay, I haven't. What do you think would be the maximum edge you can be to do something like you're doing? Honestly, if you feel good, like.
Yeah, we've seen all ages. We've seen some really quite old people doing it, but you need to understand, if you haven't done it before, you just need to know that sailboats can be a lot of work. I've often told Sophie, I don't know why people think this is a good thing to do when they retire, because this is not what I want to do when I retire. But it can be a lot of work. But yeah, we've seen some pretty old people out doing it, and they love it.
Pretty old people.
No, but it's true.
No, if you feel good and you want to do it, you know, you will know your own limitations. You know, so just go for it. All right, here's another one. Sophie, will we see your godson on Polysteel again? Have you redeemed yourself for failing to attend? So yes, I think that I've redeemed myself. I believe so. I have not seen. I think that we will see Romain again. I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
But lately, he told me that he got a new apartment, and so that now financially, like he's a little more, not restricted, but like he needs to be a little more careful. And also, since he works, he doesn't have unlimited holidays. So we'll see. But we would love to see him again. He was so much fun to sail with. Okay. When did your mile building trip to Scotland when you first started? Where did you land? Oh, yeah. Okay, so that was exactly 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I was making landfall in Scotland after a trip from Marstrand on the west coast of Sweden. I did it with 59 North on Andy's boat with Andy and Mia. Mm-hmm. It was tons of fun. 100% recommend. And we landed in Orkney. On the islands of Orkney, and I dream of going back because it was absolutely gorgeous, amazing, once in a lifetime experience. Hopefully twice. I want to go back. All right. Oh, Ryan, show us the T-shirt collection.
Oh, Jules, I don't know if we should, because some of them are secret.
No. Okay. Show the toilet one. Which one is it? Sail it? No, it's is it Sail It Like a Charter?
I'll show a few.
The fucking.
Give me a few minutes.
Okay. Ryan is I think that you should model them too. No, so you should actually wear them. Guys, do you think that Ryan should model the T-shirts? No, I think he should. Okay. Sam asks, what is Polysteel number 2 going to look like? It honestly depends on how much money we have. And right now, polar seal number 2 looks very much like polar seal number 1. We would love to get a Garcia, but that doesn't seem very realistic. So, we've also been looking at maybe little bit bigger Benetos, which are great boats. I mean, we like Beneto. We think they're good boats. I think that our priority would be to get a little bit bigger boat. Yes, Ryan. Okay, we really need to.
I'm not going to model them, no, because I'm not going to do that. But so just we've done about 12 or 13 different ones. I only have a few of them here because I don't know where the rest of them are.
Okay.
So this is the one that's on the site. You may all know who sail.
It's a little bit.
It's a little bit wrinkly. But this is the Jabsco toilet pump.
You can't say what it is. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. This is our very first design. It's actually on the website. You can buy this one.
That is correct.
There's 2 colors. If you don't like the blue, there's like a gray you can get. There's this guy, which is just a sailboat off our intro thing. This one's maybe not young kid appropriate, but it's going to go up. This is the functioning t-shirt, which pretty much describes life on the boat. Your sailing is going too well and you don't trust it, and then shit goes down.
This is real life experience.
Yeah, that's the you can express your inner fucking. And although I've had a lot of feedback since me recording my solo passage saying that I swear too much, but although the best comment I think I got from my solo passage was somebody wrote, I used to think I swore like a sailor, and then I watched this. I was like, all right. There's this one for the, like drive it like a rental. This is sail it like a charter. I'm sorry, I hit you in the head. That's a good one. This one I like. This is a compass. I just think they're cool.
I like the compass one since 206 BC. This is good.
So we have some other cool ones. Like we've got one that we're just finishing up. That's like the innards of a winch. So it's like an inside of a winch. It's pretty cool actually. We spent like a month designing that, a couple months designing that one. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna like slowly have these out. And then one other cool thing that we've done. I'm just gonna fold these up because.
Okay.
Last thing. Sorry, you can take a question.
What is the cool thing that we've done?
This is the last one. We don't have on the website yet.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Sophie really likes tote bags. So
Ryan made a tote bag.
I designed a tote bag for like this. I think it's pretty nice actually.
It's a good beach bag.
Yeah, and then inside I have some surprises. So there's a little pocket.
All right. So the bottom line is that
Ryan and Sophie, and then
you swear too much. Was that your mom?
What, my mom said that?
No, Jules asked if it was your mom.
No.
You swore too much.
No.
All right, guys. This live session is starting to go downhill, as it normally does. Except this time, no alcohol is involved, which is exceptional. It's too early, I think, for that. But if you have any question, this is when you can ask all the questions that you have, like the crazy one, the silly ones. It's been almost an hour and a half that we're on, so we answer everything at this point. Oyster has a nice 2013 Oyster A85 for sale that would make a nice
sure it would.
You know what, Sean? It absolutely would.
Sure it would.
I would love an Oyster as a second
Feel
boat.
free to contribute to the boat fund.
Polar seal number 2 Oyster. We are here for it. I vote yes for this idea.
I just sick. Oh yeah, how's my mom doing?
How's Mary?
I love how this community takes stock of how my mom's doing.
Here's Mary in the chat.
Yeah. She's great. Both my parents are amazing people. They are our biggest fans and supporters, and always there for us. We just talked to them before this. And they're doing amazing.
Okay. What are the minimum trainings that you recommend to start? I mean, okay, this is our personal philosophy, and this is going to be our personal opinion. But Ryan and I really credit the success that we've had in our sailing life to the good tuition that we get. And I think that somebody asked earlier, what was our sailing school? So thanks, Sam. Thank you so much. Say hi to Sydney. So we really credit our success sailing to the course that we took. It gave us a very solid base. We took the RYA, day skipper, and competent crew. And I think that we could continue. I think that both you and I want to do a yacht master from the RYA as well.
Yeah, it's just not a big priority at the moment.
We'd love to do that. It's just time is missing. But if you have the opportunity to do a basic sailing course like the Airway Day Skipper or the ASA 101, we personally believe that those are great starters. But again, it's at the end of the day, it's up to you how much you want to do and how much you want to invest in your tuition. Those are our opinions, and
I think getting a course to learn the basics and how to be safe, and then getting out there and just getting experience is the best thing you can do. But there's a million different ways to go. You don't need to take a course if you're sailing with others, but it is good to make sure you're learning the right way the first way, because that's the law of primacy.
The what?
Law of primacy.
What is that?
It's a law of teaching. So
okay.
if you learn it one way first, that's how you're going to always do it, and it's very hard to break.
Now we really like the Airway sailing course because you learn how to handle your boat, but you also learn a bit about weather, a little bit about safety. You learn call regs, signalization at sea, VHF. It's very complete. I think that when you take the ASA 101 or the Airway Day Skipper, it's going to teach you how to sail and how to handle a boat, but it's not going to teach you everything that you will need to know if your intention is to live on a sailboat. It's not going to teach you a lot about maintenance, for example. It's not going to teach you a lot about how to equip your boat. It's not going to teach you a lot about relationships on board. So those are other things that are not as, they aren't until our course. There aren't a lot of structured ways to learn about that until our course comes out, which will be so cool. But yeah, we would recommend the Airway ASA. Okie dokie. Tom says, I think it's worth doing a course. You will learn from being with other people, but it gives you a good grounding across the board. Yep, I absolutely agree with that. Oh, that's cool. There you go. James said, having done both ASA and Airway, I prefer the Airway approach. James, we would love to hear more details about why you prefer the Airway.
My only beef with the RYA, I have a few small beefs with them, and I think RYA, I think they do some really good stuff, and they promote safety and how to go out safe, but they really put a lot of emphasis on doing passage planning in a very old style of doing it, and I think that it's good to know how to do it, but they put almost all the emphasis that you have to do it this way. And there's so much better ways to do passage planning now that that's my only beef with RYA.
But at least it teaches you about the importance of passage planning.
Yeah, but the way that they teach it like this is the only way to do it. You have to do it with a pen and paper. And I think that's not the best approach, but that's just me. That's my only beef.
Oh, well, we like the Airway. But here,
I do like
David says that he's a big advocate of the ASS series. 101, 103, 104, 2 offshore passages with an experienced keeper. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, there we go. Now we have an opinion on the ASA as well. Ooh, there we go. Airway has more comprehensive. Damn, I'm loving this debate in the comment section. I am absolutely here for it. GNT, if you can swing it financially, doing a training passage with John Kretschmer sailing or 59 hours can really give you a realistic view into passage making. Yes,
100%.
I agree with that. When I did my passage between Marstrand and Scotland, Andy gave me a bit of a friend discount, but to me it was still multiples of thousands of dollars that I invested in this passage. And it was great. It was a great confidence builder. I really enjoyed sailing in a different boat than mine. And it also enabled me to get out of my comfort zone in an environment that was safe. So, we took the boat across the North Sea, and I knew that I was handling the boat and participating in an environment where I had a very experienced skipper with me. It was fun. It was great fun too.
Okay, we're going off topic here. We have another course name suggestion.
Course name suggestions. Yeah, we're here for it. Okay, guys, if you joined a little bit later, the big announcement was that Ryan and I are working our butts off on producing a very extensive course and very practical course about how to get started in the sailing life when you don't know much, like when you're really getting started, and putting all the resources from how to learn to preparing yourself mentally in your relationship through weather, navigation, equipment, buying boats, everything. And we're taking suggestions for course names, where to stow your grog, and other important sailing decisions.
I actually like that one. I think we should put that on the list. If David's still on, I think we should put that down.
That is so funny. Guys, keep the name suggestion coming. We love that.
Okay, back to a question. Did I lose or gain weight on my solo passage? What do you think? I'm driving right now.
You lost weight. When I saw you arrive, it's like... Ooh.
I think I actually lost muscle mass. I have not been working out much the last 8 months.
I think that you're looking a little bit healthier now.
That's what she's saying is I'm looking more plump. I've lost the muscle mass. I weigh about the same now, but muscle has been replaced with olfato.
This one, Brian. Okay, go back to Brian. Okay, this one is special to me because Brian is a patron of ours, so thank you, Brian. And Brian introduced me to Beth, his wife, Elizabeth, who is new to sailing, and she helped me read the script of the course and gave me some feedback, and that was invaluable. So Beth actually knows exactly what's in the course, and it's cool. How to make mashed potatoes, life lessons on cruising and relationship. I like that. I do like that. I think that at the end of this live, we need to take all the suggestions and we need to make them happen somehow. Like, we should give all the suggestions their own thumbnail with the title. And I would like to do that. And I'm here for this title, How to Make Mashed Potatoes, Life Lessons on Cruising and Relationship. It's a good one.
I disagree, Robert.
You look better in the Buckeyes hat.
I disagree.
Moving on.
Finding some more stuff here.
Oh, somebody sent us a super chat.
Oh, that's nice.
Who was that? That was Andrew.
Oh,
thanks, Andrew. I'm kicking a curtain.
You're hitting a curtain.
Sorry. There's a little too much excitement. Go up a little bit again. Is the course you offer live, in person, or remote? That is a very good question. So this course is going to be video based, and so what makes Bright Trip really unique is the quality of the filmmaking and the lessons. So it is going to be divided into 6 chapters, which each contain between 6 and 9 lessons each, and it's remote. So it's completely video based, and so each lesson is going to cover one topic, and the variety of topic is enormous. So you can take it at your own pace. You can take it all in 1 week. I think that at the end of the day, it's going to be between 5 and 6 hours of video, I think. So it's huge.
We, though, we're still interested in...
I think that what we're going to want to do is to offer the possibility for the people who take the course to have access to us and be able to ask very concrete questions about their case. Now, how that's going to look, it's unclear, but we're thinking about it.
Thinking about that, there's a few other things that we could do with it. So if you guys have ideas, that's also interesting. Here's some more course ideas.
How to not suck at sailing.
That's a nice one. This one's also good. The fracking and other principles of getting lost at sea.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Being thrown overboard by your partner being one. How to not suck at sailing. Honestly, it's not a sailing course. We're talking about the basic principles of sailing, how the anatomy of a boat, but it's not a sailing course. Like, you could still go to the Airway or the ASA with a licensed and certified instructor to learn how to sail, not us.
All right, back into some more questions.
I love the suggestion, guys. Please keep them coming.
Robert, how's the washing machine holding it? It's rocking and rolling. We ran it yesterday.
It's amazing.
Still doing really well. Hasn't ripped the side of the boat out yet, so That's good.
Oh,
World Towning.
you said you did it. No, we did.
No, we didn't. If we said that we did our cushions,
It
we
was a
meant
mistake.
that we made a choice to hire somebody to do our cushions so they wouldn't suck, because they would suck. But we don't have a Sailrite, but we do actually have a Singer Heavy Duty, which is a Sailrite's like almost $1,000, and the Singer is about 250. Would you say 200? The Singer, huh?
It's Singer Heavy Duty.
Singer Heavy Duty, but it's like $250 maybe.
Yeah,
it's like a quarter of the cost.
It's a quarter of the cost, and honestly, for what you end up using it on the sailboat, it's
because we
perfect.
like today we had the bimini and the spray hood down because it just needs some restitching, and I did all of that with the Singer.
Yeah,
and it does just fine. It can go through like 6 or 7 layers of Sailrite, Sunbrella fabric and zippers, and
yeah,
it can do a lot of stuff.
It comes with a walking foot attachment, which is what goes through like very heavy layers of fabric, and we've never even used it. So I think that that speaks to how good it is. Go with this one.
This one?
No, this one. This one. Yay! No, I just love that David is with us still. David has spent like an entire week with us from 7 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. at night. David, we are extremely excited for it. And it's going to be very rigorous and practical, partly because of you. I mean, I think that the combination of you, me, and Ryan, and everybody else involved in the creation of this course is going to be... Valérie. Yes.
Oh, we're going international here.
But I'm translating, so it's fine. Is this course only for beginners or to perfection, to a more advanced? So this is not a course about sailing, about how to handle the boat. It is a course to prepare you to have a sailing adventure, however that sailing adventure looks like. If you're gonna take your boat out in the Great Lakes or buy your first boat, and it is for it's more geared towards beginners. So if you've already bought your boat and you're already cruising, or you have some experience of cruising, it's not a course for you. Though if you have bought your boat and you're wondering, how to prepare your finances or how to equip your boat, or how to prepare your relationship, there are definitely going to be some parts that are relevant to you. But there is also an entire chapter dedicated to the basics of sailing and the basics of a sailboat. So I would say that it's more geared towards beginners. Yay! But for anyone who wants to have a sailing adventure and, get started. Here. I love that. Course name, Hitchhiker's Guide to a Life at Sea. That is so good. I love it. Thank you so much, Pleiades Driver 1. That is...
What other questions do you guys have? It could be about anything that we've done, passages, what we've got coming up.
Wait.
What else?
Oh, no, we have more course names ideas that I'm loving. There and Back Again, A Journey of Life. I am so inspired by those course names. I wanna make custom thumbnails for those. I think it's great. Life on the water. It's not all plain sailing. Actually, one of the worries that I had when I was writing this course. So I really wanted. You know us. If you're here, you know us. You've watched our videos. You know that we always take a very realistic and honest approach to the sailing life. And at some point when I was writing this course, I was like, maybe I'm being a little too scary about how things can be when you're on the water. Maybe I need to lighten up the tone a little bit or talk more about the really fabulous and fantastic aspects of life at sea. But definitely, yes, it's not all plain sailing. I think that we make it clear. How much does the whole course cost? So we actually don't really know yet because it's raining here on the Polish Shield. Can you go close the hatches in the Beavers too? This is live, guys. We don't really know how much it's going to cost yet. And one of the reasons is that it's still being produced, and we still have to evaluate, how much resources we're putting in there versus how much people can afford to buy a course for. So we're not completely sure yet, but it will be for sale on the Bright Trip platform as well as on our website,
No,
which will be through
Bright Trip.
redirecting through the Bright Trip platform. So we don't know, but we'll let you know as soon as we know.
Let's take some questions.
Okay, we know how you met, that you chose to go sailing, but why sailing? As people who never sailed, what made you think you wanted to do that in the first place? That is a great question.
Well, I read an article about a couple that sold everything to buy a boat, and I was like, oh, that's great. That sounds amazing. Like a sailboat, you don't need fuel, so it shouldn't cost us anything. Let's do this. It's a cheap project. So
really?
he agreed.
I don't think that we ever thought that it would be a cheap project.
I did. Well, anyways, and we were shown wrong. That's kind of how we got into it, really. So
yeah,
there's nothing more to say than that, actually.
I think that the idea appealed to us because we're both a bit adventurous. I think that we do have a little bit of an adventurous spirit, and it felt like a cool adventure. You know, I think what else if you're going to travel the world? So you want to travel the world, you want to have a genuine experience of the places that you visit. And you want an adventure at the same time. It didn't feel like flying around the world would be that much fun.
Really expensive.
I think we could have been biking too, I guess. You and I are both like
I don't think you would like biking. Yeah.
It just felt like a great idea. And it's a little sad that I don't have much more to say about that, but it turned out to be a great choice because we love it. Because sailing does allow you to experience the world from a completely different perspective and access places that you would normally not go to. So I think that the choice of sailing was serendipitous, but our decision to continue was based on absolutely incredible experiences that we've had everywhere we've been. And that's why we continue to do it. Okay. Let's have a look. I let you answer that one.
How did we meet? Well, that's what Tinder's for. We met on Tinder. So that's how we met. Yeah, that's pretty simple too.
Yeah. We met on Tinder. Tinder is a good place. What I liked about Ryan, if that can help you to meet someone, if you have to meet someone, I don't know what your situation is, but Ryan had a very funny picture of himself in a Ninja Turtle costume wearing green tights. And it's not that I found it attractive, I found it funny. And I was like, oh, here's a guy who doesn't take himself too seriously. How fun is that? And that's why
Turns out I do take myself pretty seriously.
No, that's not true. You're funny. You're a funny dude.
Funny looking.
Oh, Ryan. Okay. What features would you like Polar Seal 2 to have, or what is missing from Polar Seal now? AC.
I think that's the biggest thing we
AC.
talked about is air conditioning, especially down in the tropics, because, Jesus, some days you just, like, need to dehumidify and cool the boat down.
Yeah.
Otherwise, even Polar Seal now, other than space, that would be the next thing, additional space and some more fridge space. I think that's pretty much it. Maybe a dive compressor.
Yeah, I actually would like that. And I never thought that I would enjoy diving in the first place, but I actually did. Okay, where do you want to sail that you haven't visited yet? Japan. Japan is my ultimate.
New Zealand for me. The Pacific, really, which is kind of conflicting with our idea of trying to get a dog because it's impossible to take a pet on a boat with you in the Pacific. So we're a little at odds with that. We don't know what to do there.
We'll see what the future has in store for us. Question: electric boat in your future? That's a very good question.
I am intrigued by electric boats, but I have to be honest in saying that I think the motor technology is there, but I don't think the battery technology is there quite yet. So I would be okay with buying a boat that is set up for electric, but doesn't have it yet that we could retrofit. But I don't think I would, with the type of sailing we're doing right now, would buy a boat solely on electric yet. And I'm not sure I'd do a hybrid either. I think I'm either one or the other. So that's just me.
Are you still happy with the Rock anchor?
Yeah, she hasn't let us down yet.
Yeah, no, we're our setup is great. Ryan replaced our anchor chain, a few years ago, 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
You put 90 meters,
Chain on 10
90
mil
meters
chain.
of 10 millimeter chain and 25 kilo like rock anchor, and it hasn't failed us. We're very happy, and we do not use an anchor alarm these days because we're at the marina.
We haven't used an anchor alarm.
We haven't really used.
But even when we're on anchor, I've got so much faith in that setup nowadays that we don't use it much.
Yeah. Okay. Holy Seal needs enough room for children. No,
unfortunately not.
You will probably not be seeing any kids on board Holy Seal on this channel, unless they're not ours. You know, you may see kids, but they will be other people's kids. That is the kind of people we are. We are other people kids type of people. Being beat by my wife for that last comment. It's okay, Sydney. We're good. We understand the curiosity. Okay. This is a question for you, Ryan.
I actually don't have an answer to this, surprisingly. I have not researched it much, so I don't know. But I do know plenty of people run their ACs on anchor off the lithiums, and it's doable.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to do it every day, all day long, but it is doable.
Okay. What's the right mix between sailing life and land lubbing? The right mix is the one that works for you.
That's right.
That is what it is.
The mix that we are striving for a bit is to do maybe a 50-50 split for a while. There's a couple of reasons why we're going to do that, but that's what
which is going to be the next question. Honestly, I'm very honestly, it depends on what your sailing life looks like. So our sailing life is on a relatively small boat, and I don't find it always sustainable to live for a very long period of time on the boat all the time. I need a break now and then. But I think that if we had a bigger boat, we would be more prone to living on the boat for longer periods of time because it's more comfortable. For us, comfort really is sustainability, and so right now we're gonna get to that part. But we're looking at maybe spending a little bit more time on land, and that's because of my US visa. But if we were to get a bigger boat, I think that we would be more prone to spend more, like longer period of time on board. So the right mix between the sailing life and land lubbing, that is really what works for you. There is no one size fits all. Okay. And weren't you going to be tied to the US for a couple of years because of the visa green card? And yep, that is absolutely right. We need to be spending quite a bit of time in the United States, but the good news is that the United States is a huge country and there is lots of sailing to be done there. There's the entire East Coast, Puerto Rico, the US Virgin Islands, Hawaii, Alaska, Guam, American Samoas. There's so much to see. So I don't think that we're going to limit our sailing because of the green card. I think that we're just going to take the opportunity to explore American sailing, which is going to be very exciting for me because I haven't seen much of the United States. All I've seen is Iowa, Seattle for a week, and then we spent 1 week in Hawaii with your parents, which is great and very fun.
That's more than most people have seen.
But I am very excited to visit the United States from the water. I think that it's going to be a very unique perspective, and I think that there is a lot of diversity and there is a lot to explore, and maybe a lot of things that you guys aren't even familiar with. So we'll see.
No. Okay.
This one?
No.
Why not in the Pacific? That's because of the legal reasons. So in the Pacific, a lot of times you have to either pay really high prices to check in your dog or cat,
with long quarantine times,
and you have big quarantines. So it's a lot of bureaucracy and not great.
So we actually prefer to, at least I prefer to anchor.
We do prefer to anchor.
But
absolutely.
The problem, we're in Jolly Harbor in Antigua, and Anchorage is just a little ways out, so it's a long trip back and forth. And with how long we've been staying here and the type of work we've been doing, we decided it was easier for us to be in the marina and just suck up the cost. So we've just done that, and it's been easier for us, and we've been thankful that we did it that way. But no, we prefer to actually be
We
on.
prefer to be on anchor because anchoring for us is cruising.
And for Bermuda and Canada, we'll probably be on anchor most of the time, and then until we leave. So.
Like right now, what we're doing, we do not consider it cruising. We are living on board at the marina, and the reason we are doing that is because we have a lot of work, and life needs to be convenient for us right now. So we need to have a quick access to a supermarket. We need to be able to get off the boat when we want to. Ryan has a lot of calls, and I do a lot of work that requires a lot of focus. So we need to have a very convenient life to make it work. But we're going to Bermuda, and then we're going to Canada, and we're hoping to do actual cruising because that's what we live on the boat for.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The thing that gets me is how the cruising sailing community seems so friendly. Was that a surprise for you?
Yeah, it's been great. It was a bit of a surprise, but yeah, no, everybody's awesome out here. Well, most people. There's a few a-holes, but it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. This one is for you, Ryan. Just want to say hello from Simon at CC. Oh, we miss CC. So, I mean, good boat stores.
Hi, Simon. I know who Simon is. That's great.
CC was our one of our favorite chandleries when we lived in Stockholm, and we built up experience in the archipelago.
It's so funny because Stockholm has like 2 big chandlery chains and then a couple big ones that aren't so much chains. And I used to think, oh, they're okay, blah blah blah. And when we left, we got to other places, and the boat stores, the boat shops just sucked. And I was like, I need to go back to Stockholm where I can just get everything at one place. So.
All right, we're gonna do rapid fire questions, guys. We're gonna be here for as long as you want to.
Oh,
you want us
is that
to
true?
Be here. Oh, do you want to?
We've been going for 2 hours.
Almost. It's fine. I like it. Okay. Caught any fish recently? No, we don't even sail, Jules. That's how bad it is. I mean,
but we don't fish in the Caribbean.
We haven't sailed in a while. All right. Buddy boat a season Maine to Key West with us. Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Absolutely. But I think that it would be Maine to Key West. Actually, I think that's how it would be. A course name suggestions. Sea Path to Freedom. That's amazing. Thank you, A Life Story. I love that suggestion. Canada is 20-foot tides. Anchoring with tidal bores is fun.
It's 20 foot. We've anchored in tides. It's 20 foot tides on the west side of. Some of them are actually much bigger on the west side of Nova Scotia, but the east side it's only like 3 foot tides or something. So I'm not so worried about it there.
Yeah.
3-4 foot tides. Yeah.
If you find yourself in Vermont, come to Burlington for some sailing and freshwater cruising. Brian, I have something to tell you. So when I said that I've only been to Iowa, Seattle, and Kauai, I almost forgot I have been to Burlington. I had spent lunch at the Marina restaurant one day because I was transiting between Montreal and Boston. We took the Amtrak to Port Kent, the ferry from Port Kent to Burlington, and then we had lunch in Burlington before taking the megabus to Boston. So yay! And Burlington is awesome. But this is a good question. Do you think going premium is really worthwhile? Example, Swan instead of Beneteau.
They're 2 different boats.
But
they're 2 different boats, though.
If you can buy a Swan, buy a Swan.
No, but I think that's a loaded question because what kind of swan are you talking about? Is it an older swan? Is it a new swan?
Yes,
what kind of sailing do you want to do?
Good point, Nicolas.
The older swans are really beautiful and they've got a lot of history. The new swans are nice as well, but the old swans, they're racing boats and they're designed as such. So they have really nice interiors, but
specify. What kind of swan?
And the price point, can be different depending on what you're looking at.
A new 4855. Yeah, go with Swan. Absolutely.
I think it depends though. Yeah, because there is a premium you're going to pay, but I think the build quality would be a lot better.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not to say anything bad about Beneteau. They build them very well also.
Without Beneteau, we would not be on the water.
Without Beneteau, a lot of people wouldn't be.
A lot of people wouldn't be on the water. And Beneteau's are a great boat. We love our boat. But you know what? If I had the budget to buy a 48-foot new Swan, I would absolutely do it because those boats sail amazingly, and the quality of the finish is like a whole new level. With that being said, I'll say something. So we look at Andy's swans, and they are from the 70s and the 90s, and they're bigger. Those are not boats that I would want to cruise on, because those are designed for offshore sailing with multiple crew and racing. And that is not the type of sailing.
The
that
thing
I
is I love Ice Bear. It's a 59 Swan. I love that boat. The inside of that boat it's so amazing. If the rig and the sailing equipment, sailing inventory was designed to be shorthanded, which it's not, I think it's doable, but it's just not that way. So it's not a practical boat for Sophie and I. But it is a really nice inside.
Yeah. Dwart about Swan 40 from 72. That has to be a beautiful boat.
Some of them older ones are really nice.
I mean, the swans are really sweet boats. Oh, I remember, Dwart, that swans were your favorite boats. That's awesome that you bought one. That's so cool. What about an ML50? You know what? Yeah, if I had the budget to buy an ML50, we have a couple of friends actually who own one, and
they're pretty nice.
so
They're
beautiful.
not the same design ethos as the Super Marimus were, like that vintage of MLs. There's a little bit different design philosophy. It's still very much an ML, but there's more reliance on electronics and things where there wasn't that in the original ones. So, or at least that generation of boats. So, but yeah, they're quite nice. Yeah.
I mean, we have spent a little bit of time with our friends on their ML50, and every time we go, I'm like, what a beautiful boat, and how much fun would it be to sail that boat? It looks just gorgeous. New swans are really designed for short-handed sailing. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. And we follow a couple of newer swans on Instagram, and oh my god, the envy is real. Oh, what about Hallberg-Rassi? Did you come across those in Sweden? So funny enough, we did not come across a lot of Hallberg-Rassis in Sweden, but we come across a lot of Hallberg-Rassi as cruisers everywhere in the Mediterranean, in the Caribbean, and I think that's because the Hallberg-Rassis are really designed to be long distance cruising boats, and that's how they're being used, and we love them. Same thing, expensive boats, beautiful finish, sturdy, well designed. I actually love the 50-foot, the newer 50-foot Hallberg-Rassi with the twin helms, like one helm on each side of the center cockpit.
That's their whole new design.
So it's their whole new design, and to me, it is the best of both worlds when it comes to cockpits. So Polar Seal is an aft cockpit with the twin helms on each side, and it opens up the cockpit to create more space to receive people on board. But the Hallberg-Rassi has that in the center, so you still have the amazing cabin at the aft, and great space in the cockpit to receive people. Man, yeah, Hallberg-Rassi 50, beautiful boats. Love it.
They're just extremely expensive.
Yeah.
So this is where the Beneteaus come back in.
That is correct. So for your next boat, practically, what are you looking for? We're looking for money. That is what we're looking for.
I think we thought we wanted a catamaran, and we've sailed on some now, and I maybe am changing my mind a bit about that.
What do you mean?
The catamaran thing?
Yeah.
I didn't like the motion of them, at least when we were out.
But that's because we were sailing in shitty conditions.
Yeah, but even when we were going downwind, I didn't really care so much for how it was in the water. But I'm not necessarily opposed to it. I just am more open to being back on a mono. But we definitely want bigger.
Okay,
Okay.
Sorry, I'm cutting you. I'm excited.
I know you are. I'd say we definitely want bigger, and like all the things we have on Polar Seal, but maybe just a few, like a little bit more things in the galley and stuff. But we just want something a bit bigger.
Yeah.
And we're just not sure what that looks like, if it's in a catamaran or monohull, but it doesn't matter because we don't really have cash for it right now.
The reality is that I don't think that for Polar Seal number 2, even Polar Seal number 3, that we'll ever have the budget that allows us flexibility in our list of criteria, right? It's like we can get bigger, sure. With our budget, we can get bigger, but that's going to come with drawbacks. With that said, there is one boat that in this Halbergrassy Swan. Another boat that I want to talk about is the Moody Dexalon 54. Oh, that is a sweet, sweet boat. Because the catamarans, we were talking about catamarans. One thing that's really nice in catamarans is that you can see your surroundings. And one thing that I don't like with monohulls is that when you come down the companionway, you feel like you're in a cave and you don't really see what's going on around you. And that's one thing that the Moody solves for me.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
The problem with that boat is Sophie and I disagree on how the layout should be. So
yeah.
I'm not sure we'll ever get
Ryan is not a fan of the curved salon space.
I don't care about that, but we can have a straight salon space if we don't have the galley upstairs, and you want the galley upstairs, and I don't. So we're in a disagreement about that.
Yeah, but that is because you don't spend a lot of time in the galley.
Well, anyways. So where was I going with this? I had this comment about... Oh, one boat I actually like that is a production boat that I really like the design of is the Jeanneau 60. It's a new design. Probably a bit too big for us and too expensive, but I think the design is pretty cool. This one.
Yes, so Oyster also have the deck salon thing. And again, Oyster, I'm 100% here for an Oyster. But once again, it's a bit of a budget.
I mean, there's the older, smaller ones, but... Are
the older, smaller ones deck salon, though?
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. Good deck salon boats that we lately found out about are Vauquier. I'm going to write in the comment section because we're talking about boats here. But check those out. They are nice. What about the debate between blue water and production boat? So
we don't have enough time left in this live to talk about that.
No, but okay. We say that a blue water boat is a boat that you take in blue waters. And that is whatever boat it is that you have. So, we have taken polysteel across the Atlantic 3 times. One of them was solo.
The best line is, we need to stop. Sophie says this, and it's very true. We need to stop talking about blue water boats and start talking about blue water mindset and blue water seamanship. And if you do that, your seamanship skills will help dictate if your boat is safe enough to take across. And that could be like a really old boat, small thing that you determine that you've rigged up and set and your skills will allow you to take across, or it might not be. So in our mind, there is no debate on the boats. It's about your abilities and your skills, judging seamanship. And that's what we should be talking about, is like what from that perspective is safe.
Exactly.
So we have kind of tried to exit the discussion on that, because the Oysters and the Halbergrassis and even the Swans all have bolt-on keels. And this is where like the big debate goes. They all have bolt-on keels. So does Beneteau and so does the Jeanneau. And they have millions of sailing hours on them. And yes, eventually one is going to have an accident. So, one that's encapsulated or one that's a full keel won't have one because it's physically impossible for it to call off, but it might have other issues. So that's where we sit on that debate.
Exactly.
And we're pretty passionate about that. But
we believe in blue water mindset and seamanship much more than in blue water boats, because if you have, at the end of the day, it's how you resonate about risk management, about safety, and decision making that is going to make a passage safe and comfortable. Much less than, a boat will obviously contribute to that. But we believe that you can take whatever boat you want across an ocean as long as you are prepared for it and you have good seamanship. So that's where we stand. All right. Do you think we should close here, Ryan? It's been 2 hours that we're on.
It's been 2 hours.
Guys,
I'm getting slightly tired. I'm sorry.
We have been talking all week in front of a camera, guys. All week. Yesterday we were absolutely wiped out. So... yeah.
I think we should stop while we're ahead of it.
And I think that now is the appropriate time to say, and I'll make some posts about it, but I'm gonna need to take a 2 weeks video break because I'm gonna need to work a little bit on building myself a buffer, and I can't. Okay, right now I need to take a little bit of a break. So in order for us to come back stronger, more regular with great videos, needs a little bit of time.
Yeah, I would agree. And so we'll leave you with this, guys. Just one last big thank you to everybody who supported us this year.
Yes.
I mean, through everything, but this year, just watching the videos is great and helps us. And if you can tell others about our channel, that's also nice. But it's really been good, and the support we got during the migrant raft rescue was amazing. So thank you.
Yeah.
If you do still want to support us and our cause to give some money back and to help out with the migrant issue around the world, there's still time to get on our website, ryanandsophie.com. You can buy a Ryan and Sophie t-shirt. If you don't want the t-shirt, you can always donate to our PayPal and leave a message that's for the fund.
UN, but I think you can also make a donation.
Or you can make it
to
yourself.
The UN Refugee Fund, because it's open. There is.
So yeah,
anybody can make a donation.
We'll have those t-shirts up till the end of the month. Yeah. And yeah, we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Also, a huge thanks to our Patreon. I think that we are not always the best at saying thank you and at showing appreciation, but we think about you a lot. And I mean, it's funny to say that we think about you a lot, because we're actually in direct contact with a lot of you. Yeah. And a lot of times we have a lot of conversations with you. So we do definitely think about you. But your support is extremely appreciated. It's what allows us to make those videos better. I think that I don't think that a lot of people know that most of what gets in the video through Patreon or advertising revenue actually go back to the channel in the form of, being able to have Nathan on my side, so that I can take on new project like this course that we're putting out. I still don't pay myself like a real salary, but we really appreciate having you guys on our side and helping make this channel better and helping us create more content.
Absolutely.
All right. I'm gonna read a couple of comments before we leave, because it's fun. Oh, Newport. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. I guess that we're gonna end here. It was really fun hanging out with everybody. And if you're watching the replay, good job making it all the way through it.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.